Welcome back to part 2, retake
100.
100. Okay, so this one I'll give you a little bit of insight on my life and hopefully have enough time to give you insight on Coda's life before we started talking. Previously, I was in a 13-year-long relationship with my kid's father, and I had my son at 15, had my daughter at 20, finished high school, had both of my associate's degrees, went to college, the whole shebang. From there, fast forward to 26. My 26th year was pretty awful, I'm not gonna lie. The entire relationship was toxic, but it progressively got worse to the end. 26 was a few trips that we had made that year with family and friends. And the last one leading up to right before me and Coda met, we went to Nashville. And I'm not a big drinker, but he is, and a lot of my family are. Like, that's what they do to party. And I can just have fun. Like, I don't have to drink to have fun. And we were in downtown Nashville and, like, doing bar hopping. And I got left at a bar because he was so upset that I wouldn't let certain things happen to my body. And so I got left. It was probably like midnight, close to 1 o'clock in the morning. He literally walked back to the Airbnb and just left me. Yes, I was with family, but you don't leave your partner in downtown Nashville.
No.
While everyone's drinking, okay? So it turned into a huge fiasco. So much so that we finally got back to the Airbnb. And it was knockdown, drag out fight majority of the night. And it finally ended with my sister letting me sleep in her bedroom where her and her husband were sleeping, and my brother-in-law went and slept on the couch so me and my sister could sleep in that bed just to get us separate from each other. Like, it was that bad. I wanted to sleep out in my car. I was trying to leave to go home. Like, nobody would let me leave. And during the entire time, I was told, so that happened in like August, I was told by September, the end of September, I needed to have all my shit out of the house and be gone. He had already had me quit my full-time job and go down to a PRN job to where I was just working like maybe like 8 hours a week, 10 hours a week. Mm-hmm. So financially, I was terrified. I didn't have a car in my name. I didn't have a home in my name. I had nothing, essentially, other than my kids. I had nothing. And I had that thrown in my face and held over me, and that was what kept me there. And I was begging. Looking back, I'm like, stop begging. But I was begging to not be left. Like, I didn't want to do it. I was so scared. So I met Coda actually during that time at the gym. And so I was already out of my relationship. We were just still there together. And like, there were good times, but it was always met with a bad time. And it was more bad than good, if that makes sense. And I used TikTok to create and give me a reality that was so much better than what I was in. I used it to escape. And a lot of people, when I finally made the choice to leave, was like, oh, it was the TikTok. That's what did it for her. That's what made her leave. She was getting all this attention. I wasn't. Okay, you see how much I have a following, okay? I wasn't getting like gobs of followers. Like, I was just having a support group. I had people I could talk to. So from there, it was like the following year, I was turning 27. Me and her had already created our friendship, and I had feelings of I wanted to explore it. Like, I wanted more. And I was falling. I was falling for her. And
Why is that? 'Cause I'm goofy.
I didn't want to stop. From there, it was just, I had to get the confidence to get out. And I did. A really big fight happened amongst him, and it was so dangerous. I'll just leave it at that. The situation was very dangerous, and I am very blessed and lucky that it ended the way it did, and that I had family I could escape to. And it was my saving grace in the long run, honestly. I got the gumption, filed for divorce, moved in with my mom for a short while until I got bit by a brown recluse, which then led to surgeries and me moving out and moving into an apartment that my dad had. It was like a whole thing, but that's another story. So, Coda's situation, I'll let her shed light on a little bit.
No. I have to talk about it?
Yeah.
Oh,
You can start where, like, we actually started, like, getting together, like, at the beginning of that year.
Why don't you just do it?
Oh, my gosh.
I can't. You just do it for me, sweetheart.
She'll hit high points whenever I mention them, I guarantee it. So, she was in a relationship with a guy. They had been dating.
Maybe a couple months.
Maybe a couple months. Okay. So, they had been dating a couple months, and they weren't, like, super serious the way she made it seem to me.
No. 100% not.
And her situation wasn't any better than mine. It's not like it was abuse or anything like that, but she wasn't given attention. Like, he'd come see her every now and then because he lives in a different state, and then the time that they did get to hang out, it was more like she initiated it kind of thing. And looking back, I think he viewed it as like her family had money, and so like he was getting in with like a good family kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Like he was gonna have more opportunities with money, and that's where it was really coming from. So their situation was fizzling out. We'll just say that. He was hunting at one point, and then was coming back home and didn't want to come see her. He wanted to hurry up and get back home to see his friends. And it was coming up on Valentine's Day, and so we went on a date for Valentine's Day.
We sure did.
And they kind of ended. Like, that was their ending, was right before it. So we went on a date for Valentine's Day.
Where did we go?
To Watami.
Yeah, we did.
And, yeah. So, I mean, neither one of us were out. My family, I never had to worry about that kind of situation. Like, I never had to worry about, like, oh, if I was ever with a girl, they wouldn't like me. Her situation was different. And we will get into that for part 3. So stay tuned. Okay.
Yeah.